there's some... Yeah, and?
Olivia peas.
Fuck.
Good.
Are we on air? They cut us off, Studio A?
Get the hook.
Need some of your half beds.
Yeah.
Your A's.
Somebody pause. Oh, is it gonna?
Pretty nice here in Studio A. What do you think?
They told us not to get too comfortable.
We're actually in Studio A, B&B. Stuck ourselves in isolation for a weekend.
Down at the Sunken Lake.
Sunken Lake. A couple eerie names around here. Deep Hollow.
Black River.
Already found some connections or inspirations for multiple things that we've been writing. Seems like the perfect place to bring you an episode.
A 2013 one this time?
I'm pretty sure it's 1981.
Oh, what did you watch?
The Evil Dead. What did you watch?
Evil Dead.
The original was actually called The Evil Dead. Championed by Stephen King right off the gate. He put it in his top 5 horror films of all time.
And when this got promoted, it was promoted as the scariest movie of all time. The 2013 one.
Yeah.
That hype.
It very possibly could have been the scariest film of the year. Not that I have anything offhand.
No,
that was
all time.
All time. Oh, wow.
Actually, I don't remember the promo that much, but I remember it being definitely hailed as being a very frightening movie.
Yeah, well, I can't help but wonder what Stephen King thought of the remake.
He didn't write it either, which is rare for one of these spooky features.
Yeah. The original directed by Sam Raimi, the dude.
Yeah. You said it was his first feature?
Still kicking, going at it, yeah. And Bruce Campbell, they were buddies, and they were just fucking around.
Yeah.
They're kind of their student film.
Still going.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he's riding that high horse.
Yeah.
Did Multiverse?
Did Multiverse, yeah. We already had a little bit of Raimi conversation a couple episodes back.
Yeah. Spitterman.
But, Drink Champs also says it's nice to give their people flowers while they're here.
Yeah.
Not wait till they're gone.
Yeah, it's a good way of going about things.
Yeah. We actually did consider quite a few movies for this cabin-themed episode. Obviously, The Thing came into question. Strangers is a good one. Misery would have been good.
Yeah.
Didn't want to give Phyllis any ideas.
Cabin Fever with Ryder Strong.
Oh my god, that was a stinker.
Was that the one? Did he shave off his own leg or something?
Yeah.
In the bathtub.
Yeah.
That was gross.
Also, I've never seen Cabin in the Woods. It's a bit on the nose, but I've heard it was actually really good.
Yeah. I haven't seen it either.
But Dreamcatcher is one that I really liked. It kind of moved more outside of the cabin and had lots of backstory and stuff like that. So it might be kind of out of this category, but a great film nonetheless.
Yeah. But still, a bunch of buddies in the woods.
Yeah. I definitely enjoyed, the starting of the remake. Kind of put you in the element right away.
Yeah.
I guess it was because, we already know what we're getting ourselves in for, so they didn't have to disarm you with the intro.
Yeah, I don't know how many times the intro in the 81 had been done at that point, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, going to the 2013 one, took it upon themselves to write a little lore into the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So it starts with a girl in the woods, right?
Yeah.
She kind of looks like the victim, maybe, like she's being chased.
Yeah.
Hunted down.
She gets hit over the head, dragged away.
Yeah, gets sacked.
It's a very infamous shot that was set from 1981, that kind of tracking shot where you don't know what's coming after you.
Yeah, this flying woods entity.
Yeah, and like, when you really had to use devices like that in the 80s, that was a big thing of, creating that feel of getting chased, not knowing what's chasing you.
A lot of shallow focuses in the first couple of shots of the remake.
Yeah.
You don't see any really in the first one to kind of set the mood, I guess. So yeah, she gets sandbagged or whatever, veiled with that.
Given the stranger's mask.
Abducted.
Yeah. And here she is in a basement.
Pleading with a father.
It's set up that
He's airing his grievances at her.
she doesn't even remember that she actually killed her mother.
Oh, I think she knows.
She's kind of asking, where's Mom?
Which you'll find is kind of a reoccurring theme with some of these Evil Dead creatures. They like to play the sob
innocent
story card, the innocent thing. Yeah.
Later on in the remake, the mother role is also kind of a part of the story, the deeper story. But
Right now, the only mother role is that wretch that's reading the prophesizing book.
Yeah.
He's dosing her with gasoline.
Yeah. Classic. What is that?
Yeah.
Starts dousing her, and
The
he
match.
can't quite get the match lit. And it is a pretty cool transition of, it's almost like a POV shot where he's looking down at the matches and he finally gets it lit and brings it up. No. Before that, she says, "Daddy, don't. Daddy,
Yeah.
I will rip your soul out."
The way she says it, it's like one of the best delivered lines in the
Yes.
whole movie.
It really is. Just the way that she delivers it, like every other pleading line.
But then they kind of ruin it right away because she turns into the Exorcist girl and immediately says the line again in the new voice.
Calling him pathetic and a loser and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But finally,
Gets
she's put in flames.
yeah, his noseless onlookers.
And then seems to kind of like it. But yeah, and like the Whitakers.
Yeah.
The whole Whitaker family is there to watch.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird
The
in itself.
the underbelly.
Yes, exactly. Shout out to the Whitakers.
Yeah. I love you, baby.
Yeah, Ray. Ow! Hey. So yeah, solid intro.
Don't forget the part after she gets engulfed where he boomsticks her.
Oh, he does boomstick her.
Yeah. It was the only way they could really get to the credit.
Yeah.
The Evil Dead. Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Nix the E. But that's really where, like, they both match up now for a little bit.
Yeah. The intro of the original does have that kind of wisping shot over this
73 Olds Delta.
Yeah, but the
88.
At first it's just this gross swamp that is flying over.
Oh yeah.
And wisping through, so you still get that feel. It kind of sets you up for the voyeuristic shots that you'll see a lot of later on. And then you get to see a car packed full of teenagers.
Yeah, 5.
It's just
Operative number.
Yeah. And I think in the 80s it was kind of a thing to show off the all-American group.
Texas Chainsaw you a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And an Olds.
Yeah. Sing along.
Yeah.
Another thing that shows them to be like, a very innocent, happy-go-lucky group, except for Scotty there driving. A red flag comes up in the form of a truck.
Oh yeah, playing chicken here.
Yeah, and then the steering wheel's a little possessed. Almost pulls him right in there. And
It spins that man's wheel on him.
And Bruce Campbell playing Ash.
Yeah.
The
That
lead
shit almost
role.
got ended early, though.
Yeah. Short film. Says that he just got everything fixed up on the car. He doesn't know why that would happen.
Yeah.
And they continue driving.
Your favorite.
Huh?
The next thing they pass is your favorite. Couple of hitchhikers.
Couple fishermen.
Well, fuck you anyway.
Yeah. But it's funny because I found that they really showed a couple of the key players, their character, in very smart, quick ways, right to the punch.
Well, they didn't have much money, I don't think, Liam.
Because the car honks and the fishermen are waving. He's like, I wasn't waving at you. Go to hell. So you see Scotty's a little bit of a hothead.
Yeah.
And then as they're driving, a couple of the ladies there are a little hesitant of where they're going. And
it's a little late.
They find out that no one's seen this place.
Yeah.
And they're saying, yeah, well, I got a 5-star rating on Airbnb. Ash has the line, this won't be that bad. No. It might be kind of nice. Yeah. So she's like the get-along girl, you know what I mean? She's down for the ride.
Yeah.
Where later to find out that the Cheryl character is Ash's sister.
I didn't catch that.
I didn't, they don't mention it at all until later on. I think I brought that out a bit too early.
Yeah, I was trying to match up some of the ways they switch characters around between the two.
The driving scene in the remake.
A Jeep creeping.
And it's just two characters. And they pull up and the majority of the group is already there waiting for them, not knowing if they're going to show up.
Yeah. They were going to make it, though. They weren't in the jalopy of yore.
Yeah.
Just on their way there, they cross a swamp in that one as well. Low-hanging mist. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Remember that shot?
Yep.
CGI mist? Practical mist? What do you think? Comment?
I can't remember it that well to see if it was CGI or not. I'm sure it'd be practical.
No, right. Well, they're on their way anyway.
I don't know if there was a lot of CGI in this. I think it was mostly practical.
But this is the remake with the low-hanging mist.
No, but I thought the remake did pretty well at keeping it
cheap.
Keeping it practical. Yeah. At least they did a well enough job for it to be debatable.
Yeah. Well, let's get 81 there as well before we talk about them being there and meeting up. There's just one other thing. What was it, Murphy? They throw the apples at? They set up the bridge pretty good in the first one.
Yeah, it was like the bridge that...
it's solid.
It's the bridge that the Lost Boys hang off of. Already missing pieces, losing pieces as they go over. There's a lot of shots driving into the cabin that you should have already got the vibe that maybe this isn't a place you should be. The different variety of shots as they're driving towards the cabin really had that vibe of, you're almost getting in too deep.
Hot in the heels of the Shining, though.
Yeah.
The Shining had a long, drawn-out kind of scene to get to the overlook there as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So they get there. Everybody's there now from both movies.
Yeah.
They made it.
Yeah.
Benches blowing in the wind.
Yeah. Stopping at command.
In 81, they just grabbed some keys from the top of the door.
Yeah.
There's a whole ring there. They kind of messed with a couple of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't a first shot deal.
A lot less story involved in the original. The premise is...
one motion. Right in!
Yeah. Number one. Nice. It's just these group of kids going to stay at a cabin. Mm-hmm. And not knowing that a Book of the Dead is there that can possess people at its will. And there's a lot more story in the remake where right off the bat there's some disgruntled friends.
Oh, they've been waiting 2 hours. Did you know that?
Yeah. And you find out that what's his name?
Nerd. Eric.
And you find out that Eric is
Some dorky guy who sits in the back of a tourist station wagon journaling.
no, but what's the brother?
Oh, yeah, he's like a mix of Elijah Wood and a young Anakin Skywalker from that movie, if he was older and hunkier.
Yeah, he's even a little bit like that Josh Hutchins guy.
Oh, what a kind comparison. He's going to put that on his IMDb. I've never seen that guy in anything else, I don't think.
Detention?
That dude? David?
No, I haven't seen him in anything.
Yeah, didn't think so.
Yeah. But there is a couple familiar faces. You said his name was Eric.
I think so.
He was actually already on Tired Masterminds.
Yeah, unbeknownst to me, except I did recognize him, so I kind of knew.
Getting maybe a worse fate in X.
How is that possible?
And then Olivia, character number 2, that...
A registered nurse.
Registered nurse, right off the hop. Doctor, as she's being introduced to David's girlfriend, who's kind of out of the circle.
Nick. No, I'm just kidding. It's Natalie.
Natalie, yeah. Come to find out that David is here for his drug addict sister.
Yeah, she's around back if you want to...
Yeah. So Natalie is out of the circle.
Yeah.
In these group.
Spoiler alert, she doesn't really have a line till like 40 minutes in.
Yeah. But you find out a character that is a big part of the story.
Waiting right around back.
Waiting right around back.
For you.
Yeah. David goes looking for his sister. Name?
Mia.
Mia.
Yeah.
A
Great shot.
Masterful shot.
Yeah. What did you think about the car? Did you catch the model?
Is it the same car that's in the original?
I want to say yes, but I don't really know.
Yeah. I didn't notice, but...
Another old
quite
jalopy.
Possible. Yeah. There's a little bit of tension between brother and sister.
Oh,
Obviously haven't seen each other in a while. A little bit of resentment that the brother left.
Mm-hmm. But he comes bearing gifts.
He comes bearing gifts.
Yeah. What do you call that thing he gave her?
Necklace.
A charm.
A charm necklace.
Something like that.
Has a pendant that... I think he's a mechanic. So this charm was a little bit more mechanical.
Yeah.
Than the charm that is given in the original.
Oh, kind of like a cog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He don't believe in the cog, but she does.
The original, the necklace kind of looks like an old mirror or something.
Or a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
That would be good for reading small text myself. Necronomicon's written for normal people, though, not small.
Yeah, but that is actually brought into the film later.
So, yada yada, a promise is made, a heart's crossed, then they have a little gathering around the old well.
Is it already... So it's already brought to David's attention while they're here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she makes that proclamation that, she's off the gear.
Yeah. A little bit of an intervention, if you will.
Well, she seems like she wants to do it. She's not dragged kicking and screaming into this.
Yeah.
Maybe out of it. But.
It's almost she's putting a support group together as she battles with withdrawals.
Yeah. She's detoxing.
Yeah. And she's done this before and failed. So I think they wanted to get her out of the city, and that's what they brought to this cabin.
Yeah, let's get them in that tiny cabin.
But it's not even a random cabin like in the original. This is a cabin that they spent a lot of time in as kids.
Not on the lock. When
they get in there, there's pictures of them together as kids, and a lot of memories on the walls.
Which he immediately says, "Oh, don't get stuck in memories. You're only surrounded by them, and every drawer you open is filled with them."
Yeah.
Yeah, someone seems to have broken in. no keys to get into this place.
Yeah. Kind of confusing of like...
Why? Because the nerd said he was waiting 2 hours and he couldn't just go and give it a little push?
Well, I don't know if the first scene...
Fucking little grouch.
I was confused if the first scene happened... like, what was the span between the first scene and now?
Before they went in?
Yeah.
It's a great
like,
question.
Was it, hundreds of years ago, 10 years ago, a year ago?
I don't know. I'd have to... His glasses weren't super unmodern, but the wretch seemed to be out of 1900 or even earlier.
Mm. Yeah, because I guess freak shows stopped traveling.
Yeah. I guess we got to figure out what that bag was made of. Work our way backwards from there.
Yeah. What was that? What kind of rifle was he using? Musket?
Did you say musket in a shotgun movie?
So I think it kind of cuts pretty quickly into...
They're going to make this place livable. So, yeah, a nice little project, right? You're detoxing, you're sweeping,
Yeah.
right? Thoughts?
She goes for a little walk. Oh, yeah, so she makes a vow. Pours her, the junk.
The gear, yep.
Looks pretty tan, so I'm thinking it's like a heroin or an opium of some sort.
Some, what is it called? Grade A narcotic?
Grade A. It was a grade A.
Yeah.
She goes for a little walk by herself and starts feeling, she thinks she's seen something in the woods. It almost looks like Samara from The Ring is standing in the distance looking at her.
They're detoxing, they're cleaning up, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Exploring the place a little bit. Meanwhile, back in 81, they get in there. When they enter there, wasn't ransacked like in 2013. It's just clocks going off, and the girl, she gets kind of possessed by the wind early on.
Yeah.
I don't know which one she is. Cheryl? Who's she?
Cheryl.
I don't know what she's drawing at first.
Oh, she's drawing the clock.
Oh, the clock. Yeah, she's doing a beautiful picture of the clock.
And then it turns into a terrible drawing of SpongeBob, which is kind of confusing. And starts ripping at the paper.
Yeah.
Something's a muss.
Oh, my God. Just trap doors. The trap door comes in a little bit earlier in this one.
Yep.
Right? A lot of banging going on.
So the cellar, you mean in the original?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found this scene really funny.
That they jump right into just a nice little supper right after.
Yeah, they're having supper and the cellar door opens. Mm-hmm. And they're all thinking, what was that? There's someone in here. And someone suggests that, it's probably an animal.
Yeah.
And Scotty. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fucking animal in there? You think so? Like, you have... and I thought to myself, you have no idea what you're in store for. You think an animal's far-fetched.
I know, but he's got the crumb to go down there.
You're about to start battling with demons, my man.
Yeah.
So they find... which is funny that this is even older film, so less technology, but they find a lot more. There's a lot more technology in this cabin in the 80s than there was in 2013.
Yeah.
Because they find a record player.
Yeah. Phonograph of some sort.
And there's a projector.
Yeah.
Which isn't brought until later on.
You see a shotgun.
A shotgun. A boomstick.
Yeah. But they have to have that little bit of, Scotty goes down. He doesn't respond.
Scotty.
Yeah.
And Scotty don't.
Young Ashley Williams.
Yeah, Scotty doesn't know.
Nuts up next.
Scotty doesn't know. Ashley goes after him.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's all good. A little bit of a classic bro jump scare.
It's really drawn out, though, that whole part. Like, there's a really slow guess like 360 shot where the camera's in one spot and looks around the whole room and then back to Ash.
Yeah.
His facial expressions are starting, they're in their infancy at this point. You see a little bit when the tire goes through the bridge at the beginning, and there's that shot looking up at him.
Yeah.
Scotty's down there. They get all that kind of crap.
Yeah. They find the record player and the Cheever's letters.
No, there's no Cheever letters down there, was there?
The Necronomicon.
Cut this out. The Cheever letters don't come into play till later.
I know, I stole your reference, didn't I?
You just tried to...
Out-reference you. I tried to block your reference.
My son's going to be named 7.
So they find the Necronomicon. They go,
Or is that the Necronomicon? Because there's a picture of it in there.
No, that's the Necronomicon.
Yeah, okay.
Shout out to Cobblestone Leathers. My man Thomas actually made me a wallet designed to look like the Necronomicon, and he did a badass job. Those are still on the market if you want to check them out.
It's a beautiful thing. Well, let's get 2013. Let's get them to find the Necronomicon here.
Okay.
Because they got this whole side story. They got such exciting things going on as David is fixing up the door frame.
Yeah. Showing his good with his hands.
Yeah.
Man's man.
And a bunch of them are just lounging around. These kind of scenes always are very reminiscent of the first Ninja Turtles movie when they're laying low, licking their wounds, recuperating there.
Yeah. Eric is just kind of mulling about. Mopey. He's a mopey character.
Oh, yeah. So, like, the nurse keeps saying stuff like, oh, we already tried this. Oh, she did that same old thing.
Yeah, both of the friends are definitely being very pessimistic about this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, and she died.
Oh, yeah.
And needed to be defibrillated.
Yeah.
Which is actually a good setup. Then it's just nighttime.
Yeah, quickly nighttime.
And she's just screaming bloody murder. Like, she's doing nothing for how she's going to be later on to act like she's not withdrawing hard.
At this point, complaining about a smell.
Yeah, but there was this one part which I think probably bothered some people. That needle shot. They give her a needle, and it's like right in her hand, kind of.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty, real, pretty genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, now several hours in, they finally smell something.
Yeah, she's a little.
Or Grandpa smells it too. He's picking at the rug.
Was this not after her little walk?
No, she goes for a walk after. Pretty soon, though.
Yeah. So she's complaining about the smell.
Yeah.
That no one else can smell.
But the dog notices it. So they move a sliver of a rug and notice that there's tons of blood.
Yeah.
Looks like it would stink. Just a high iron from that blood.
Yeah. And you start, because it's led to believe that, maybe she's already possessed. Why is she smelling it and no one else? Come to find out she's a superhero and her superpower is super smell.
But anyway, they go down in the trap hole, right?
Nothing but 100 cats being hung.
Yeah, the deeper you get, the more cats.
What kind of smell would that?
Yeah, fly ridden.
That room would have made Kevin Spacey and Seven blush.
And then they Venn diagram right over the, there's the boomstick, the book, bound in garbage bag and barbed wire.
Oh, yeah, that was strange.
But luckily, the nerd, the Scotty kind of this moment, has a pair of snips there.
Yeah. But no record player. No audiobook in this 2013 version.
No. You can say it. Can't write it. Can't hear it.
I wonder if Morgan Freeman declined doing the audio tape of the Book of the Dead. Keep up, guy.
Junda. Montu
So yes. So then she goes for a walk.
Kanda.
And Eric is nerding up on his Necronomicon and is actually stenciling some words out.
Yeah, he's doing that old...
Put a quarter under the paper and see what happens. There's some really interesting stuff in the Necronomicons. Both some similar things and some different.
He's got a picture of a book.
You know, in the visuals, you can see the rules of the Necronomicon. In the remake, you can see the 3 different ways that you can stop these possessions. Dismemberment, live burial, and setting them on fire, which all 3 are
inked in human blood.
Tried in both films, actually. Attempted. Some succeeded and some failed. We'll get to that later. Also, there's a page in the 1981 version, the OG, that has an eye on it, which is something...
Upper lowercase.
And it has the retina hanging off it, or the cones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw those cones. It gave me a rod.
It actually... I don't know if this was something that was supposed to be in the original, but actually in Evil Dead 2, there is an eye that looks just like that shoots out of someone's socket into the girl's mouth.
Thought it might be coming?
Yeah, because I remember that scene.
Yeah.
But there's a couple things that, Mandela affected me because of the similarities between 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple times that I was like, oh, this is coming up, and it didn't.
Yeah.
And I think I even reverse spoiled something for you, telling you that, what you think might be in Evil Dead 1 is something that you might be remembering from number 2.
They're up there. They're checking out the book, listening to recordings. The wind don't like that.
No.
It's throwing shit through the window. And then, boom, cut to...
A little foreshadowing that these branches are coming at you.
Yeah. And then all is calm after that, just...
forget about it.
Yeah, just a freak thing.
Those things happen out here in the wilderness. On this side of the Tennessee border.
What's-her-name goes off for a second. Ash gets all romantic. He starts sleeping with this little box
in his
hand.
Him and Linda have a little bit of alone time. And there actually is a character in the original that is quite forgettable. There's the fifth wheel. Or not so much the fifth wheel, but the fifth member who really doesn't have any lines.
Natalie of
you kind of forget
81.
Yeah. But even less character in 81 because she doesn't even have a connection to anyone. I guess she might be Scotty's girlfriend, but you don't really know her until she's saying the noises she's making. What happened to her eyes? And all that, which we'll get to later. But so like close-up eye montage between Ash and Linda.
Mm-hmm. And she gets her charm.
Little
magnifying glass.
Yep.
Right.
Which, confused me. I think Frankenstein kind of fucked me up because I'm like, so is this the sister, the girlfriend? Because, the necklace is given to the sister in the remake.
Oh, yeah. A lot of gift giving this time of year.
After watching Frankenstein, I'm like, I guess she could be both.
They embrace. And then we get that voyeuristic shot. That long, it's going around to every window. It's taking a little peeking in on Scotty. And then ends up outside of that boyfriendless girl's window.
Yeah. What's a 80s horror flick without a couple itty bitty A cups.
Big low hanging moon out there,
Yeah.
superimposed as she goes to investigate.
Yeah, she looks out the window. When you hear "Come join us" out your window, usually you wouldn't go,
No.
especially wearing white.
I heard you. I hear that you out here. I know there's someone out here.
Linda, is that you?
It's so idiotic.
Come join us.
But the bravery,
Yeah,
I can't speak enough to. So she's out in the woods.
yeah,
She's kind of the Mia
yeah,
of this situation.
yeah.
as it would turn
More than
out.
you know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in 2013, we have Mia freaking out from the detox. No, she sees that lady in the woods. What'd you say, from The Grudge?
Looked like Samara from The Ring.
The Ring, yeah. I always get The Grudge and The Ring, and like the girl
Yeah,
looked the same to me in my head.
The Ring is way better.
Yeah. So she sees that girl, and this isn't both of them. This, oh, I want to leave. No, we're stuck here.
Yeah.
Kind of back and forth banter. But in 2013's case, feels like a real betrayal has happened here, and the charm gets smashed. She takes off. She grabs the
jumps out
Taurus.
the window, gets in the car.
Fuck! What am I doing? And I didn't know either.
Yeah, no one does.
I don't know what her big plan was.
Drive in the ditch.
Yeah, that old thicket wind gets hold of her wheel. Is that what happens in that? Swings her into
You
the
see a
swamp?
little, swivel of the tire. Very much like the possessed steering wheel in the original,
Yeah,
I would say.
yeah. So she gets in there, knocked unconscious, of course.
Yeah.
Right? Little boo-boo to the head.
Yeah.
Gets up, tries to start the car
Yeah.
while it's submerged in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Those
then,
little idiosyncrasies, though, because like someone in that situation would probably try that, like not even thinking, right? Because they're in such fight or flight.
oh yeah, and then she was just like, oh, I'll just grab my purse here as well.
Yeah.
She's
Can't forget my crack.
So she just she swims out, but this isn't really it for her.
Oh no, it's just getting begun.
So the spirit, of course, always ripping through that woods. You get a little bit of a swamp jump scare or something going on there. She's tripping.
Something grab her in the water.
It was kind of like Samara was there. She jumped
Yeah.
like straight out of the water.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
yeah. And then she just takes off.
Yeah.
She's running.
Going through the woods.
Trips,
Trips.
of course. That thicket, it detains her
Yeah.
at this point.
This is obviously one of the redone scenes, but
Up close and personal
you-
with
you
Samara
really,
here.
you can really see how far they've come with these practical effects. I think there's a little CGI here, maybe.
Vine's a little thicker in this one.
Yeah, and like so much more movement. They're actually like moving. How would you say it?
Wriggling around her body.
Yeah, like, and you can
Pulling,
see see
tugging.
the pull. You can see
Yeah.
the tug. Like, it doesn't look like someone just has a stick and they're kind of
Moving it back.
poking her with it or something like that. Like, what I found interesting in the remake, the vines are.
But the vines aren't the issue, because the girl pops up in front of her and pukes that black shit onto her.
Yeah, like
And
a big old
venoms.
leech. Yeah.
Symbiotically leeches her. I don't know how to exactly put this part, but
It's definitely it's hard to say
I don't
which
know. Is
one's
this
more
thing
cringy.
sponge worthy?
Yeah. Well, the vines were definitely an ass man, because there actually was a little ass slap in there. I caught that. Yeah, but watching the big leech crawl inside her was not a
Unwanted
cringe.
advancement.
It wasn't a cringeless watch.
So now she's got the monster inside of her.
Yeah.
Right? So
Should we cover that scene in the original?
yeah, so back in 81, the thinner vines.
Yeah.
Wrap that girl up. They kind of saw at her clothes.
Yeah. Really ripping her clothes off.
Yeah.
More of a boob man in the original.
Yeah. Wrists, ankles, a creeping vine.
Yeah.
I call it.
And then it's just one fail swoop. Like really stabs into her. Which I found,
takes the care to...
And the legs are getting pulled apart. And, there was something in the original one that, had its own level of cringe. Just how, like, stiff it was. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't moving with her, and, like, it was, like, pulling her. Like, really taking control. This is something that's been redone in a lot of different movies, though, getting all tangled up. But I find all the other films are usually closer to the latter, where you don't see very many that are as stiff as the original. Very low budget, but at the same time, it has its own... I don't know what the opposite of charm would be.
Vileness.
Yeah, but it has a vileness to it.
Yeah. That
works.
She's got the monster in her as well.
Yeah.
But we don't cut away from her. She got to run off, trips a little bit more.
Yeah.
Hated that she tripped twice in that scene.
I know. I hate the double trip.
You never go to the same well twice like that.
And then a branch breaks. Branch breaks and she gets up and runs away.
She's got the set of keys on the top of the door. Yeah. Like so they're inside, but their keys are back on top of the door. Good on Scotty. Put them back where he found them, but she can't make her way with it. Ash lets her in. It's got all that. That was a terrible sound, but it had drama to it.
There's a scene where Eric is like reading the book as she's doing something. Is it
back in 2013? Yeah, he is thumbing through it quite a bit,
and he's reading it.
He's kind of he looks and sees the strung up picture.
He says like the queen,
like right after it happened.
Mora, like he says the 3 words.
That's when they're down in the basement, yeah.
But they're going through the Necronomicon while she's on the walk.
Yeah, he's thumbing through it, and she's out living it.
So I wonder if we should just say that and then put it back. You know what I mean?
I've already told everyone.
And during her walk, Eric is reading through the Necronomicon.
But you don't see it till after that anyway.
And when he does his shading and he's seeing the words, he's saying them, and you can tell that this is unlocking a certain possession.
Yeah, it's jumping back and forth. Things are getting closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just good old Ashley saving her.
Yeah. And when Cheryl, her name's Cheryl, that's out in the woods.
Yeah.
I got attacked by the vines.
Yeah. Did something happen to you in the woods?
This is when you get the classic chasing after you shot in Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like for the first time.
Yeah.
The audience have seen this, the camera actually chasing after her.
Yeah. And then she gets there.
That feeling of not knowing what the hell it is.
Yeah.
Because there isn't the demon that she can see. Yeah. Like the physical demon like there is in the remake.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so Ash saves her. They're all concerned, whatever. Take me out of here.
Yeah.
This is her we're getting out of here moment.
Yeah.
Ash is like, okay, yeah, no, we'll head out. Yeah, so like this is all mixed up. They're making their way back.
No, well, they get into the car.
And then Ash just stops it.
It's just like the end of the parking garage scene. Can't get the car started. Well, then finally it starts.
Mm-hmm.
And they do drive, but they come to the bridge, and the bridge is fucked up.
They don't really stop at the bridge though. He stops like inexplicably somewhere.
You know
and
what?
He's like, I'll be right back. And then he goes.
Maybe this is still.
And she braves it again. She just goes after
Yeah.
him, and then they arrive at the twisted mass that is the bridge.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then they turn around, and it's just like they're feet away from it. So
I'm still like, it's funny because we just watched the original, and I think I'm still getting a little messed up from Evil Dead 2 because I think that bridge scene is a lot different in Evil Dead 2.
yeah, this is like a more of a suspense.
But it shows like for 81 young, fresh Sam Raimi, some pretty masterful shots that I'm going to continue to keep calling out. Like, yes, he has lots of movement, but this shot where she's frantic, falling to the ground, he's trying to pick her up.
It's not going to let us go.
And they're in the headlights of the car.
That was nice.
Such a nice shot. We got the runaways in the bag. Both runaway scenes.
Yeah,
so that's where we're at too.
Yeah, so they're taking off with Ash. Meanwhile, back in 2013, she's just in there having the same kind of conversations as the 81, except that they think it's just crazy withdrawal
There's
talk.
something out there, yeah. Oh, this is symptom 5.
Yeah.
Stage 5.
Yeah, exactly.
She usually doesn't make it this far, but we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Take another needle.
Yeah. You're safe. Yeah, if you leave now, it'll be all for nothing.
Yeah.
We came out here for nothing.
Yep.
So you got to double down. So she's going to do whatever it takes. David tries to go talk to her, and she is spooked, man. Meanwhile, that's when the nerd's actually thumbing through the book at that point.
Okay.
Looking at the her girl strung up in the vines, and he's like, what,
Okay,
was she reading this?
Yes, exactly.
She got the story. He's like acting all butthurt about how David goes off and he's snipping down the hanged cats. The next morning, basically, for them at this point, I think, isn't it? Because isn't it daytime when he does that? No.
No. Because I think it goes into the shower, doesn't it? Or wait, what's first, the Barfarama?
Well, this is where so David's down there cutting down all the hang cats. I'm thinking this is not how teamwork works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're just lounging up there upstairs while he's doing all.
Never drove past a construction site.
But then he's got bigger fish to fry because he can't find Grandpa, which is unpleasant. He finds him in a hole in the shed, and right away he's like, you know what? I bet it was Mia with that bloody hammer.
Yeah.
And he visualizes it.
Yeah.
His own sister.
Oh yeah, he has this.
And he's right. Like, she's in there. Oh yeah, she's just showering.
Yeah.
And he's banging, kicking, whatever. He's railing on that door.
Yeah, and she's got the temperature on high.
Yeah, and there's that like Freddy Krueger boiler kind of cutaway.
Yeah.
The flames in that little box.
And you see the skin bubbling off her face.
Yeah. By the time her broski, her brother there that was doing that, gets that door kicked down, she's in bad condition.
Yeah. Real bad condition. And then they take her out, and they're trying to sedate her. And she goes for a little bit of a tussle with Olivia, and they end up on the ground. And then what could only be described as a Stand By Me reference, complete Barfarama.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, covers her, with what looks like blood, too. So now Olivia needs to take a shower.
Yeah, and then like an alien, she escapes into the vents.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's banging, shit, all this garbage. The nerd is still following along in the book. He's like, oh, look, on the next page you get scolded. I don't think he's reading ahead yet at this point. But back in 81, though, things are just kind of normal at the cabin again.
No, not much talk about what happened to Cheryl out there in the woods.
Yeah. Ash is listening to a little bit more information on the recorder.
It's a gentleman talking about his wife who's been possessed.
Yeah, the girls are just playing cards.
Yeah. Okay, this is a funny one. So I just gotta, before we get into, because this is a crucial moment.
Yeah.
Before we get into that,
both of them get pretty unhinged at this point.
The flip a card, and guess what it is? And she's just joking, saying that, oh yeah, you got it, when she's not actually getting it. And she's like, oh, that's real good. Just toying with her. And this is actually...
Ghostbusters.
The first line that you hear from this fifth member of the original group is she's toying with Linda, like very cute and innocent Linda. But this reminded me of something that we used to do back in the day. And you know Troy Miller.
Of course.
So Dominic used to be like Troy. And I remember this happened countless times. And I think every time it was a success. That because Dominic did it so many times, Troy would be like, you got to watch this to people. Watch Dominic do this. Dominic can guess any card that I bring up. And when it was time for them to get all situated... I would just slowly kind of mosey behind Troy. And then when Troy was lifting the cards, I'd look at it and mouth it to Dominic. And then Dominic would say it. And Troy always was like, oh my God, how does he do it? And it went on so many times. And it was funny because like when Troy himself would build an audience for this, be like, you got to see this.
Yeah.
Dominic, let's do the card trick. Everyone would be
0 for 10
seeing me in the background, right? And he'd get everyone right because I'm mouthing what card it is. Yeah, so that was pretty funny.
Audience is in on the joke.
Yeah.
Like that Penn and Teller one on SNL where they're upside down.
Yeah.
The audience could see that.
Yeah. But Cheryl.
Yeah.
She was possessed by a card counter.
Real daunting message gets put out here. One by one, and then
we will take you all.
Used up all of her energy, I guess. Goes for a little nap, just to spring up. One thing that I did hear about this was in the UK, this scene was banned with the pencil in the ankle.
This scene, I remember, like my mom talking about this scene, being like, had to shut the movie off. But yeah, I guess the number 2 in the ankle, Linda does.
Yeah.
Goes after Ash.
Yeah.
But I think Ash...
gets shelved.
Judo swipes her down into the cellar.
Yeah.
And then this is where the chains come in. Start locking her down.
Back in 2013, we got her down in the hole in 81.
Yeah.
And then we go back there and Natalie talking for like the first time in 40 minutes.
Other than when she fucked up Olivia's professionalism.
Yeah. And the nerd. That's everything gonna be fine. He's a little skeptical because everything has been getting worse every second. Is that what he says?
I know. He all of a sudden is like the Necronomicon Pro. He knows exactly how everything's going. He flipped a couple pages now. He's ahead of the game.
And then Mia, I don't know if she's strung out or what, but she shotguns at David here.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. There's fucking... That wind gets all through the house big time.
Yeah, the boomstick comes out.
You're all gonna die tonight.
Yeah.
And then, a little collapse. Goes for a little nap, as they do after they give their warning.
It's the first symptom.
Yeah, a little lounge
the
after.
Second symptom.
Yeah, it just seemed like Super Exorcist meets The Shining. An elevator full of puke comes out of this girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blood puke. Yeah, she's like an alien escaping into the vent after.
Yeah.
She's in the walls. You can hear like the banging going on elsewhere in the cabin.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
This is where she goes like full on exorcist.
yeah, that's when she goes full exorcist for sure.
And,
full Regan. You never go full Regan.
Yeah. And this came out before the original It, so I guess you'd say that It has these contexts. But rewatching this after I've seen the new versions of It, like it's the exact same eyes, and it makes her look a lot like Pennywise. I could not stop picturing Pennywise while I see her. And I remember I actually had a picture of her popping out of the cellar actually as my Facebook cover photo when you first were allowed to put cover photos on your page.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. In 2012, 2013, because it was one of my first cover photos was Mia, possessed Mia, poking out of the cellar there.
Psyched for the most frightening movie of the year.
Yeah.
So, like, the nerd suspects this is no friggin' panic attack. And might have something to do with that witchcraft down in the basement, which he isn't really acting like he's responsible for, this little warlock, is he? And then the pages flip in the book. It gives you a little spoiler here that there's a face that's gonna be cut off.
Oh,
Let's call it foreshadowing.
and then all that stuff goes down with Cheryl.
Yeah.
And they get Cheryl into the cellar.
Yeah. And then
That's when Scotty starts singing Bob Marley tunes. Just says, "Oh, everything's gonna be all right."
yeah, Ash puts the girl to bed peacefully.
Yeah. With her leg injury.
Yeah. Just gotta, tough it out for a couple more hours here.
Yeah.
And then we'll be straight out.
And that's when Scott and Ash start having the conversation of how are we gonna get out of here.
Mm-hmm. And
You saw the bridge, what condition the bridge is in. Or he tells them what condition the bridge is in. And they're saying, well, we got to figure out if there's another way around this mountain.
Yeah.
And, there's no Google Maps at this time. So they don't know where the fuck they are.
Trapdoor girl's still poking out, giving the peekaloo.
Yeah.
All the meanwhile. Yeah, the other girl, the eyes. Do it?
Yeah. Her eyes. What happened to her eyes? Why is she making those noises?
Very authentic.
But I didn't want to cut you off. So we can go back to the foreshadowing of the little bit of face slicing.
Well, it's just in the book. He's starting to catch wise to a little bit of how this whole thing works, It's not his first page.
Yeah. So Olivia is in the bathroom. Okay, so am I skipping stuff?
Yeah, we might as well stick around in 81 for a minute because there's the fight that takes place between everybody pretty well in the house. There's tons of like face slashing and head hugging.
Well, they slice her wrist. Scotty's got a blade on him the whole time. So
yeah,
when she
it comes
comes
out
after
pretty conveniently in that moment.
Slices her wrist, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I'll do one better." And she starts gnawing her whole wrist off.
Yeah. Which actually puts her at a disadvantage after.
Because she would have been able to get the knife out of her back. Is that the one where he pushes her back on the knife?
Yeah, and ends up head in the fire.
Yeah. Burning face.
Yeah.
Which was supposed
pretty.
which was supposed to bring her back from the possession.
Yeah.
Says the rules in the newest. So that's the first fail attempt.
Ash getting thrown into more shelves. I think I almost thought they reused the same shot.
Yeah, and
he got thrown into one earlier where he kicked the person down into the trapdoor or whatever.
Yeah, and that piece does not look heavy enough to keep a man down that is laying on top of him. So a little bit of overacting there.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the knife out of the back.
And
holy fuck.
Yeah.
Body dismemberment is right.
Yeah, Sky knows how to make some firewood, don't he?
Yeah. He did. Yeah. He didn't even cut the leg off. He disconnected the foot from the calf, from the thigh.
Yeah. And
this guy really would have helped Michael Alec stuff a box.
You ever see that episode of The Simpsons where they try and eat the three-eyed fish? And it's like wriggling?
Yeah.
It was so reminiscent of that. Except human.
They were all very fish out of water looking pieces, yeah.
Yeah, but back in 2013, you're right,
and this is when they have the conversation of how they're going to get out of here. So it's all wrapped into one. Yeah, and?
Olivia pees on her shoes, right? You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
But actually, in all seriousness, this is back in 2013. And what was the biggest thing in TVs?
Pee?
Yellow. Do you remember seeing those commercials for now TVs can show yellow?
Oh, yeah. Yellow like now.
Like, I didn't even know I wasn't seeing yellow on TV until that commercial came out.
Yeah. Seeing green and orange.
The nerd, he's looking around now and finds Olivia in the bathroom.
No, but first, there is more to that Olivia scene. Because she looks in the mirror and she has like, it's like Melina from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
Like it looks like she has like teeth all the way around.
Yeah.
And like a shard of glass or something.
Yeah.
Like when she closes the mirror, it breaks.
Yeah, and the nerd gets a piece of glass in the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And he slips on the piece of her face.
Yeah. So he walks in on her, what can only be described as de-leather facing herself with a piece of glass.
Oh, yeah.
And like you said, there's a piece of her face on the ground.
Why don't you cut off your face?
Yeah, let me. Yeah. Why don't you cut?
That's what the book said.
Yeah. Another papa?
Yeah. I love the fall on the toilet.
Oh my god, doesn't that hurt? Watching that?
Yeah, it's got such good physics to it.
Yeah. Pulls the old Matt Horseman. Because the
shout out to Swirly.
Yeah, shout out to Swirly. But continuity error, I don't remember seeing the top of it fall off.
Yeah.
But later in the scene it's broken and half of it's used as a weapon.
Yeah. But right before that, he's getting stabbed in the eyes and shit a million
with the
times.
Needle.
Yeah.
Yeah, through the glasses in the eyes. Yeah, man, that is there's so many.
Like, are we getting desensitized? Why is everything?
Like, I know, like, back in the day, I think, you know, how we were talking about, you always got to up the ante in previous episodes.
Yeah.
This was, you know, that number 2 pencil was so...
That
like,
needle getting pulled out.
Everyone was talking about it. Yeah, pulling the needle out of the eye.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and then, of course, he smashes her to death with that chunk of toilet seat.
Yeah.
And, scene. We've utilized the entirety of the bathroom.
Yeah.
We destroyed everything.
Yeah.
You know, not a good time to take a 2.
Yeah. They used all the bases.
Yeah.
Shower.
They went for the...
shit, shower, shave.
They went for the number 2 for a number 2.
Shave.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 1. Yeah. Yeah, they went from a number 2.
It's the new number 2.
A Mach 3. Yeah, a number 1's the new number 2.
The number 2 pencil, but that scene, it's the new number 2.
Yeah. Love it.
The new pencil.
The new pencil.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. And then
you
lose your place. This is where the nerd now, after taking all these wounds, needs to be patched up red-green style.
I know. And you'll, like, later on in this film, I actually said out loud, like, how much did they pay duct tape? You know, product placement. They're using duct tape on everything. And I have the red green
Reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a clear red green though.
Yeah.
You know, when you use duct tape in such extreme circumstances.
From this side of Canada.
The water and sugar.
Yeah, that's gonna help him.
Yeah, like he's a fucking hummingbird feeder that needs to be refilled.
Yeah. Well, he was used like a hummingbird feeder.
Oh yeah, then Natalie,
yeah,
just out in the kitchen, just one of those cases of the doors and everything crashing all around her, thunder's going on, creaking.
But also another example of when the people in the basement, how these demons can play innocent.
Yeah. Oh, why do you lock me down here?
And it's so funny how they play it too, because I found that in the original, which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
That they really play like
filthy soul.
Like
I can smell it.
Joke's over. Like let me out. Like it's like you locked them in the closet or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that happens in the Evil Dead, the other one as well. A lot. Where they switch back.
Doubles. So she goes down to try to help her.
Yeah. And
she gets first mouth to hand, or when you see her, you see an alpha knife. Is this one there?
A what?
The alpha knife might be later on.
Oh yeah. Well, this is where. In 2013, this is where.
Goes in the basement. She gets bit. She gets hand to mouth and then mouth to mouth.
Kisses the boyfriend's girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not romantically.
Girl. No, not at all. And yeah, this is with the alpha knife. An alpha knife is like a box cutter.
Oh, okay.
And you see
Exacto? You don't call it Exacto?
No, an alpha knife.
It's got three names?
Oh, yeah.
This fucking greedy tool?
Yeah. You see it in the light because as she's coming down the stairs, she blocks the light temporarily. And they do it really well. That you can see the alpha knife in the foreground. And then she blocks the light. And then when she comes back, or when she passes the light, the knife is gone.
Oh.
Because then that's when the knife comes out and she snake tongues herself. And that was a rough watch too.
Snake tongued.
Yeah. And then Natalie comes running out. Yeah. And David comes to
get fucked in hell, shit.
And takes play out of the Exorcist playbook. Like these demons have to say some foul shit.
Oh yeah.
Because she looks up at her brother and she's like, "Come down here and let me suck your cock, pretty boy."
Yeah, who's really got the filthy soul here?
Yeah. You're my sister. No, your sister's getting raped in hell.
Some real Regan shit.
Yeah.
Chain down that old trap door.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd. It's like all explained at this point. Find out, it's 5 souls is the ticket to ride here.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a convenient amount of people.
Yeah.
It's all we got, really.
Yeah.
Every single one's gotta die.
Yeah.
But when the evil comes back, if everyone dies, the tree falls in the woods. Does anyone hear? If an evil demon is raised in the woods and no one's who's gonna die? Gonna get bored.
Yeah.
Just going around zooming. Natalie squeezes a bit of that pus that she gets in the exchange out of her hand.
Yeah. Like poison from a snake.
Yeah. And then they realize to help Mia, they're going to have to kill her.
Yeah, this is when it's brought up, the 3 ways.
Yeah.
The dismemberment, the burning, or the live burial.
Mm-hmm.
the girlfriend Natalie starts getting idle hand effect.
Yeah, the scare du jour.
Yeah.
For this thing.
So a weapon. So they did really good at like establishing these practical weapons that are going to be used later on, because you see her with the turkey cutter.
Yeah.
Earlier, like, you know, it seems early on that she's just there. She's going to do the cooking. You know, she's just helping out in that sense because she doesn't know anyone. She's not going to really be a big help for like the support of this intervention. So you see her with the turkey cutter early on.
Yeah.
And then she takes that, and another brutal scene.
Just hanging by a sliver.
Yeah. She doesn't even get through the whole thing, just to make it a little worse. And when they walk in and see her, they watch the arm rip off.
Yeah.
And this is a line that I swear is from Sixth Sense.
What?
I think with
So if I kill my sister, she'll be at peace?
Misha Barton in Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
The girl that was killed by her stepmom, poisoned. And she's puking in the tent. And I remember seeing this in the theaters, and this was the scene that scared the shit out of me, is when he's hiding in the tent, and Misha Barton comes in, and she's puking out of her mouth as she comes, and you can see all the clothespins coming off, and then she's right there. Oh man, that scared the shit out of me. But I think there's a line, I guess, kid you not, where she's the exact same line, almost the exact same tone. I feel so much better now. And that's what she says as her arm falls off in the 2013 version.
Yeah. Fuck it. They love to be dismembered.
Yeah.
The evil.
Oh, and speaking of shots that stick with you, I remembered this, that Mia, and this is the shot that I had as my cover Facebook doodle.
Yeah.
She's looking out and she's watching the girl cut off her arm, and she doesn't want to. And it was so funny because me and Caitlin are watching this, and I start going, no, because I just heard, and it's such a Pennywise scene, even though this is preceding that shot of her looking out of the cellar going, no, like telling her not to do it because she wants her to become a demon with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. It's funny how those scenes can stick with you.
And then fucking Nat blows in with the fucking nail gun.
Oh yeah, turns her into Pinhead.
Yeah.
But what's funny about the nail gun is I don't think there's a battery on it. I was trying to look at the nail gun.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like a battery-powered one. But there's no air connected to it. So by rights, that wouldn't fucking work.
No, it's no good.
But you know, I'm sure it is a battery-powered.
Yeah. And then this is where it's going to all end in flames for this cabin.
Yeah.
And then the Cheever papers
Someone brings
risk never
yeah.
being uncovered.
Yeah, Scotty brought some cigars, did he?
David's like coming across convenient boomsticks now.
Yeah.
Luckily for Nat, she's got a crowbar so she can whack him upside the head a few times.
Oh, man. And another genius shot, and I'm so glad because we've had this conversation many times that not everything needs this dramatic close-up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just nice to let something play in the wide.
Yeah.
And it's over Nerd Boy's shoulder.
Yeah.
Looking up at Nat. And she goes to hit him with the crowbar, and he blocks it and splits his hand in two. And it's so like Caitlin didn't even see it because it was so well done. And kudos to them for being so reserved to not do this big fucking close up to it or something like that. But it was just really subtle that, you know, if someone didn't notice it, like it could easily be missed. And one of those things, oh, you didn't see that? No, you got to go back and see that scene, man. You know what I mean? I love that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Nerd makes his second frag.
Natalie's kind of going back and forth from demon to character. She's asking why her face hurts when she goes back to normal Nat.
Yeah.
And then I think the Alpha Blade comes back into it. Like, Evil Dead was so masterful at the practical melee weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I continue to just keep coming into it.
Yeah. And she really had a chance at hitting that 5 count during that fight, though.
Yeah.
Because I think she switched up to crowbar too early. I think if she stuck with the nail gun, she was a shoo-in for MVP.
Yeah.
And also, if she had a second arm heading in the battle,
Yeah.
I think she could have really done a number on them all. Because the Nerd, you're right, like with the Alto blade or battle razor knife, he got pretty sharped up with that. They put Eric, the Nerd, in the Jeep, and then he goes to burn the house down. And here's singing under the the floorboards.
Helena's dress. They put her in a red dress for burial.
Oh yeah, they're out there and it's like trees are burning and there's like this eureka moment where it goes full Frankenstein, like battery, syringes, hard proven grave digging.
Oh yeah. He really MacGyver's something together.
He's like he comes up with this crazy gadget.
Yeah.
It's like a syringe battery thing.
Yeah.
A defibrillator of sorts.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a the Mia Wallace. Oh, look at that! It's a sign. It's a Pulp Fiction reference.
Would you have to think an injury after you saying Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, think of that. They had to shoot Mia.
You're like the soccer player of podcasting. Good.
Yeah, but it's a whole Pulp Fiction reference with Mia having to take that adrenaline shot.
Yeah. She does spring.
Yeah. So he doesn't have the heart to dismember her. He doesn't have the heart to burn her.
Yeah, there's some wicked beam of light shots.
Bag on the head. A little bit more mommy talk, which we really didn't get too into, but it talks about how their mother was in the mental institution, and that's where the resentment comes from. Is that David left and left Mia to take care of the mom.
Yeah,
and blames him for her drug dependency, kinda. Has her in the Frankenstein Helena dress, bright red.
Yeah, but before we get to that, we got to figure out what's happening back in 81 if all this is happening out here.
Okay.
It's not all peaches and gravy, as Bert would say back in 81.
Oh, yeah.
Scotty's girlfriend's gone bad. Scotty's all fucked up. That girl is just laughing. We're all gonna die shit.
Yeah. Well, no, he goes to check on Linda, and she's sleeping. And then goes to look at her ankle wound.
Yeah.
And it just miraculously spider webs right in front of him. Ooh. And then he looks up, and she's demon mode.
Well, he heads back out to talk to Scotty. And then, because there's all like suspense build up there.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of those scenes all throughout this thing, really.
Yeah.
Ash is pretty sure they're not going to die.
Yeah.
Even though they're all really gone to hell. So, yeah, he's trying to hint around. He's like, is there any other way out of here besides the bridge?
Yeah. And I said that earlier, but too early. Is that, you don't have Google Maps back in the 80s, so it's hard to tell where they had to get out of there.
Yeah, and that floorboard girl still mocking.
Yeah.
I guess there is a pretty good trail out there.
And this is when...
the trees are alive.
Oh, no, wait one second. Okay.
Dr. Ash doesn't really like all the mockery, though. Prescribes a real blunt back slap, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, the domestic violence starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Point blank, he's gonna...
Even if she's possessed, I think he'd be canceled if he was doing that stuff nowadays.
Yeah, it's like Sean Connery.
And then finally the boomstick comes out.
Yeah.
You see Ash's first boomstick.
Yeah.
Where the boomstick is brought like very early on in the other one, in the remake.
Yeah, he's set with it.
But then he gets the double fake out.
Yeah. Oh, they back to normal.
Both
Everything's
of them go
all
back
good.
to normal. And this is when you find out that Cheryl's his sister. He calls them the sister, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And in light of I Saw the Devil,
Yeah.
he calls them bastards.
Right.
And what's crazy about that, and you'll appreciate this more than anyone listening, is that he goes, shut up. And we had the same experience with I Saw the Devil, that I kept going back to see what she said. Did I miss something that he said, shut up? But he's only saying it to the laugh. So I kept replaying and like, oh, I missed it. And we did that exact same thing when the guy from I Saw the Devil was talking to the guy that's eating the flesh.
Yeah.
We're like, what did he say?
Yeah,
but he just like keeps talking.
Yeah, we had to go back and figure out who really won.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to be duped. He toys with his key ring there. But then a grab right through. Like, I suspect she could get through at any time.
And she does.
Yeah.
Later on.
Yeah, this is nothing.
But Linda's singing that creepy... It's almost like a Freddy Krueger lullaby. Yeah. I'm wondering if this is actually the inspiration to the Freddy song.
You know, I was wondering the exact same thing, and I had that down in my notes here.
Yeah. And
the boiler room, too.
Another one of these masterful shots. He drags her out.
Yeah, kicking and rabiesing.
Yeah. And he leaves her in the back, and she starts, like, arching her back, but, like, backwards, kind of like...
Yeah.
What do you call it? Like contorting herself. Mm-hmm. And it's like perfectly in the spotlight. He leaves her in the spotlight.
Yeah. And
this is a shot that I know has been redone. I think it was like in Exorcism of Emily Rose. Or there was one of these, I think it might have been, what was the movie, came around the same time as The Conjuring. It might have been called The Exorcism or something, but it was all a fake.
Oh.
It was supposed to be this guy that like had these tricks to make it look like he was doing exorcisms, but he actually wasn't. But then he came across a real exorcism.
Oh.
It's the same guy that's
want to come uppance.
You've seen him in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
He's the villain in Aquaman.
Scotty's not doing so hot himself. Gets a nice glass of, looks kind of yellow, that water. But, take a quick peek outside, and then... Damn.
Cheryl's out.
I should have done more. Just really left them hanging out.
Cheryl's out of the cellar now.
Yeah.
So she comes in. Mm-hmm. Luckily, he finds that dagger. Looks like his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he has a battle with Cheryl. And he does the old, you did it to yourself trick. Puts her own hand, she's holding the blade, and he puts her hand behind her back and then pushes her on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Then she spews out a load. Like, it's not even blood that she spews out. Like, it looks like the remainings of Mick Jagger's stomach after A Night with David Bowie comes out.
Oh, whoa.
Does that have to be redacted or what?
No, it's common knowledge.
Yeah, okay.
They were dancing in the streets.
Yeah. Well, we're the dancing in the sheets.
Oh.
So then he goes.
DC double cancel.
Yeah. So he goes and gets Linda and chains her up and wants to cut her up,
Chop suey.
but can't do it. This is the first time you see the chainsaw.
It did get me thinking about the most iconic sort of chainsaw things in movies, because this is right before it becomes iconic.
Yeah.
And not really in this one so much, but Scarface, early on in the movie when they're doing the deal in the apartment complex.
Oh yeah, Chi-Chi, get the yayo.
And it gets spun around.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like one of the scariest chainsaw moments.
Oh yeah, I know. And that was
Just in that tiny room, it spins. The
probably my
bathroom.
first movie that used a chainsaw, other than I don't know if I would have saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre first or Scarface.
Yeah.
But I remember that scene being real brutal.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that kind of shit in gangster flicks very often.
Yeah. But damn, that magnifying glass thing giving him a change of heart.
Yeah.
A little chainsaw.
Chainsaw. Nice.
I'll give you that one for free. Yeah, so he decides on woodsing her again.
Can't cut her up, so he wants to bury her,
Yeah.
which doesn't work.
At this point, like, I was wondering in that one, because I watched the 2013 one first, so like I knew all the tricks already,
Yeah.
but like the volume, I had to keep it low for when it got super loud, because I was watching it in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So the volume of their talking, like the fluctuation
Yeah, I
in
know.
volumes that
Yeah.
it took.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because in the original, to no avail whatsoever, she just pops back out because
Because no surprise at all.
he goes back for the necklace, of course. Never go back for the necklace.
Yeah, that paw at the shin. Ash gets a good taste of what these guys can do right there.
Yeah.
Should that have made him switch? I didn't even think about that kind of grievous injury.
Yeah.
But he manages to behead her.
Yeah, takes a play out of William H. Macy,
Yeah.
Mystery Men. You ever see that movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. So yeah, shovels the head off her.
Yeah. But it's to no little effect,
Yeah,
really.
I know.
You know, she's still able to wriggle around and pin him down.
Yeah,
The head just watches and cackles as it does.
and he's getting covered in blood now because of the body on top of him.
Hadn't seen any chainsawing so far, so I wasn't expecting any boomsticking.
He hears something out the window. He looks out the window, and Cheryl pops in.
Oh, does he shoot out the window?
He shoots out the
Oh,
window.
yeah, there wasn't a headshot.
He shoots her in the jaw.
It's in the head.
Yeah. Well, it's because
Last I checked, the jaw was in the head.
I have the blows in her face with a boomstick.
Yeah.
Because it goes, Cheryl's out of the cellar.
What, but you don't think that's called a headshot?
Cheryl's out of the cellar. The blood pipe, record player, sinister projector, blood on the lens, light bulb, and then blows her in the face with the boomstick. The remake is where we're at. So he's burying her
Yeah.
and digs her back up.
Not too much fuss or too much muss there.
Defibrillates her,
Yeah.
brings her back to life.
Yeah.
Seems like all is well.
I think you're really glazing over how it was just a quick bury. What?
Oh, very quick, Barry.
Just bury.
Oh,
I think he said his watch
30
for
seconds.
30
Yeah.
Dig her back up.
Yeah,
If it's gonna work, it would have done already.
yeah.
Not
Well,
waiting any longer.
Maybe that's why he had the bag over her head, because it helped with the time.
I guess so.
Like she was still alive, but just about dead anyways when he started burying her. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, pretty chatty corpse.
and then Yeah, I didn't know that they're originally from Boston. But he says that he has to go in for his khakis. And as he's going in, he gets his keys. And in true Lawrence fashion, just has to get that picture of his family to bring with him on the drive. And then he turns around and nerd zombie.
Oh, yeah.
Nerd alert. Eric attacks him and kills the son of a bitch.
Yeah, after he refuneralizes her,
Yeah.
he heads back in just to what, like, dummy check, make sure he didn't leave his fucking phone
Goes
charger. His fucking... Like, what did he even go back?
He goes
there
for his khakis. He says, "I need to go get the khakis."
Oh God, that's because I couldn't hear it.
Well,
Or did you just know?
no, he said khakis.
Oh, I just didn't fucking hear it.
Boston accent.
This was right after a loud spot. I didn't have a chance to crack the volume. Sweet, let me just make sure there's no faucets running or whatever. Fucking Nerds Revenge,
Yeah,
schnick.
Revenge of the Nerds.
With that, what do you call it?
The Alpha knife.
Yeah, 1-on-1. How the tables have turned. So David's got this shotgun. Nerds coming like a video game. Yeah, that fucking Nerds Ablaze.
Yeah. They gotta burn the place down.
Oh, yeah, it was like a fucking video game. When you shoot a red tank, it fucking blows up.
Yeah.
And then Mia's outside. There's just like piano tinkerings.
I'm so glad that they didn't do the we even saw it in Frankenstein. The classic have to run away and jump from the explosion.
Yeah.
Like she just sat there and took it.
Yeah. I don't know if we had mentioned it earlier, but yeah, Mia's just A-okay at this point.
Yeah.
She's outside.
I even mentioned this, that her face is back to normal, and it's like, she did burn her face in the shower. That's not like a demon thing.
It's nothing.
Yeah, it's Hollywood.
Yeah. So she finds her charm as well.
Do or die.
Because everything is covered up. Mia. And come to, I don't know if you described this as rain blood.
Yeah. Oh, it was rain. Actually, it's blood rain in my notes. And, very...
It's rain blood in my memory.
Very convenient placement for the necklace.
Oh, yeah.
Is it when she's going for the necklace again?
Yeah.
She goes for the necklace.
Always trouble.
And the hand comes out.
Yeah, of course.
So it's the same.
Why wouldn't it?
So it's the same as the original, where the hand comes out.
Yeah, some more can't get the keys and shit.
The
Window
interesting
smashing, crawl away, tunnels.
That makes this film, ups the ante.
Looking behind you.
It's not the... Now I'll get this part right out of the way now. It's not him burying his girlfriend and his girlfriend coming back to life. What grabs her is the possession.
Yeah.
And that's the whole moral that was in the original that has been added to this 2013 version, is that now she is in a showdown with her inner demons. Which is how the whole allegory is her drug addiction and all that stuff, right? Or this is an allegory for her internal struggles with addiction. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
That they put more thought into the message that you would get out of this film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which always makes for a better film.
Yeah. And she's also crawls into the shed where there is no God, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Where poor old grandpa passed away.
Yeah. Tunneling through.
Yeah.
But she does the cool guy bump.
That wasn't involuntary?
Yeah.
Was that where the syringe Frankenstein reanimation that happened in there? Anyway, there's a chainsaw there.
Yeah.
Chekhov's at this point. Because this is like shown many times in this movie. You see chainsaws before someone picks it up.
Yeah. There is that that really brutal shot of the machete dragging across her knee.
Well, you know, that part with the knives coming through the... That was one reference I tried to look up, because what is, like, some of the other things where you see the knives coming through? Like, it feels like the magic trick, similar to how Troy's tricks work.
It's definitely been done in
where
a couple
the magician is the joke.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Where the magician gets fooled. But yeah, the knife coming through, you know, and with the near miss.
Yeah.
Like, it feels familiar, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and you see it with gunshots and everything.
And in Perfect Blue, that happens in a locker right near the end when they're running away with the...
Yeah, in the book.
Mm-hmm. But this one, it subverts the cliche a little bit because she gets schnicked pretty good there on the leg, just above the knee.
Oh, man, it is brutal.
Yeah, you can feel that one, right? One in the arm, squeezing through that little hole. She gets out behind the Jeep there, scooches under, like she's gonna do a little mechanic work.
But Samara there has superhuman strength. Flips that sumbitch over.
This is the first time I knew how strong the monster was.
Yeah. Deadite. They're considered Deadites in the Evil Dead terminology.
Oh, of course.
I forgot to mention that. Takes a couple inches off.
Oh, yeah.
Off the bottom there.
Yeah, gets rid of that pesky arm.
Doesn't she chop the legs off the Deadite?
With the chainsaw. Rin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Is that before or after she loses her hand?
Pretty sure she flipped the car after. Didn't she rin from underneath
Underneath the car.
Yeah, and then still, even disadvantaged, was able to easily flip the car.
Yeah. These Deadites
Going back to my
around.
previous suspicion that she was just down in the trapdoor for fun.
So do you think this is kind of homage to Carrie? You know, I think Carrie might have been the first horror film to have that...
Blood shower?
No, the fake ending. Where, you know, it was...
Everything.
You know, Jason has it. Where the mother's dead, but then Jason comes out of the lake. The first Freddy Krueger ends with the mother waving at the kids as they drive away in a convertible, but the top goes up and it's got the Freddy stripes, and then she gets torn in the window.
Yeah.
And these movies definitely have that happy ending, false happy ending moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Carrie, I think, was what they credited in Shudder's Scariest Moments, is the first to do that false ending.
No wonder Stephen King
they
loved
see
this.
Where the
just loves the blood.
They because in Carrie at the ending, it's where the house was torn down, but then a hand comes up.
A hand comes up?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if this of Evil Dead was kind of inspired by that, because the original poster not only says one of Stephen King's favorite films, but the picture is a hand coming up and grabbing a neck of a woman, which never takes place in the original, but that exact shot takes place in that scene where her Deadite comes out of the ground, grabs her by the neck.
Yeah.
So it's like that exact same image. You could freeze frame it and it would look the exact same as the poster.
Yeah.
Which is like almost righting a wrong, because they have a poster that has an image that was never actually in the original. So Ash makes it back to the house.
Shoots out a window.
This is when you see that Cheryl's out of the cellar.
He's having a tough time pushing a door closed.
has to smash her hand. Gun butts her hand in the door a little bit.
Then makes his way running another door.
But then he blows his boomstick in her face.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Did I forget to mention that?
Yeah. Out the window. And again, to no avail. Doesn't do much.
No. Then heads down to the cellar.
Yeah.
Takes a spill down the stairs, which is probably one of the better moments he's had all night.
Yeah.
Since he's given his jewel away.
Yeah. Comes across a big pipe.
Yeah, he keeps on
held together by a rag.
And then it gets, super stop motion. On the projector, light bulbs filling with pipe. Blood. He's getting covered in blood.
The pipe falls apart.
Yeah, but he's probably desensitized to all that blood. Those waterfall of blood that befalls him.
Yeah. But I did really like these shots.
So it's probably not too bad.
The blood filling up, like, it's just a blood-orama where, the pipe, he gets covered in blood.
Yeah.
It's almost slapsticky.
Yeah.
But, like...
With all that stop
but at the same time,
going on.
Really masterful shots with the blood filling up the light bulb and the blood dripping down onto the projector.
Yeah.
And it's projecting the dripping of blood down him. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, till it's completely red.
Yeah.
Looks like pretty cool. And I'm sure, especially in the early 80s.
Yeah. It was a gruesome effect.
Not only that, but just like something that people haven't seen before.
Yeah. But he said enough of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to head back upstairs. Clocks going nuts.
Yeah.
Christmas morning.
Yeah.
No. No, it's just out of control. Hours passing.
Yeah.
It's like all relativity, man.
Scotty comes at him and he gives him a whoop, 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 whoop. Eye poke.
He locks himself in the room first. And then all the windows are flapping.
Oh, yeah.
Then it was where it's going full Dutch. It's really dreamy in that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Before Scotty, there's that moment where he reaches through the mirror, and the mirror is like a sink, or just the way that his hand goes through it.
Yeah.
He's muttering something. This was another volume issue. But, what is the best case scenario right now?
Yeah.
Scotty.
Pushing his thumbs through Scotty's eyes. It seems like whatever he does to them, they don't feel any pain.
Yeah.
And then he puts it together is that he has to burn the book.
Well, he sees it, and it's a little bit on fire.
Yeah.
But he's using that charm as a fish lure.
Oh, right. Yeah. And he gets it, and he burns it. And then Cheryl kind of goes into a freeze frame. And then she starts, this is where the claymation begins.
Oh my God, the creamed corn up the sleeve.
Yeah, I said wet oatmeal. Like added too much water to the oatmeal. Yeah, coming out the sleeve.
A whole bunch of hands coming out.
Yeah, and they were man hands.
Yeah, they're falling, filling themselves, reaching every matter of dissolution.
Yeah, and just as this all happens, the sun comes up.
Yeah, dawn.
Which I think we're pushing. Sun might come up on us here pretty soon.
But I'm pretty... You know what?
Classic, like, There Will Be a Better Tomorrow ending where he walks out covered in blood. And it's that music. It's kind of like bird chirpy music.
Yeah. Do you think that clock spinning helps speed things up? Because dawn usually comes at a specific time.
Yeah.
You can usually know a couple days in advance even.
It was definitely summertime. Comes up early in summertime. Maybe right after daylight savings in the spring or something. Then another one of these false endings.
Yeah, a nice gust of wind comes along.
Yeah. And
sequel bait, baby.
I'll bring that up. We'll get back to that. So now we're going to
another bloodbath.
Or
like a literal bath in blood.
I'm going to take the words out of your mouth. and it was a serious. She turned her into a serious fuck fountain with that chainsaw.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they didn't do the whole
You're junkie.
attaching the chainsaw to her
One last
arm.
jab, though.
But she does do a little put her arm through the handle, just so it's like close enough.
Yeah.
As she puts the chainsaw through the Deadite.
Yeah, straight through.
Yeah.
A straight jab. Then just rain blood, spray blood. You know, we got a few ounces of Kramer in there, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a few ounces of Kramer in there, too. Maybe a couple of Newmans. Yeah. Let me check your pulse. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, and then just dissolves into the ground.
Yeah.
And dawn happens in 2013.
Yeah. She can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Yeah, very heavenly.
And again, there will be a better tomorrow.
Yeah, and then
You made it through your withdrawal.
oh, and then the book flips
Yeah.
back, I'm sure, to page 0.
Yeah. Just like
Evil Dead 2 did with the Evil Dead movies.
Yeah.
Right back to page 0.
yeah, because it's really interesting that they made Evil Dead 2.
One other thing I just wanted to say about the Evil Dead, the new one, the 2013 one, the credits
Get it?
were like all these like weird, gross, slow motion blood things.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I didn't take note of it.
Yeah. There's like blood hitting stairs, like chopping motions. Is just unsettling. And at the end, and you know they thought this was awesome. They made blood catch on fire. Yeah, so post or present credits scene.
They've set blood on fire.
Yeah, how about that, eh? Now back to Evil Dead 2, sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
Evil Dead 1 second try.
Yeah, well, Bruce Campbell, I remember hearing this, and I had to look it up before this episode just so I got it right. New Line Cinema wouldn't give them the rights to Evil Dead to make a sequel. So what they did is they made a quote-unquote, and I'm quoting Bruce Campbell with this, they made a requel. Where it's pretty much the same movie, but they almost make a parody of it. Like there's a lot more antics. Like I said, the eye.
Where it gets fun.
The eye shooting out of someone's face into someone's mouth. Getting the chainsaw for a hand.
Yeah.
Like little stuff like that. Because the original idea for Evil Dead 2 was the Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
But because of this, they went and retraced their steps. Yeah. And it's really interesting how they started. Because they started with that, like Bruce Campbell has the camera attached to him, and everything's moving around him.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of style shot. And he's going like this. But it's supposed to be, so if you put Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, if you watch them right, like as soon as...
If you Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon shit.
If you watch the last scene of Evil Dead 1 and go right to the first scene of Evil Dead 2, it's like that gust of wind comes on him, and then it cuts to him going through the scene, and that's him cutting through time, and then he has to go through it all over again.
That's pretty good justification.
Yeah.
However you want to slice it.
Because I remember exactly where I am, and it's funny because it actually made me think of this place. It's funny. I remember exactly where I was when I watched Evil Dead 2 for the first time. Like, I already watched this movie. I was at Tony's cottage, and I remember when I was watching the first movie, thinking about Tony's cottage, because it's kind of back in the middle of nowheres, and you got to go through a lot of those places. Yeah. And I remember it was at nighttime, and my dad keeps stopping trying to figure out what left he was supposed to take or something like that.
Right.
And I'm right sketched out because we're in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, stop stopping. Stop stopping.
You become a little redundant brat, you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I'll make a prediction. Let the fucking nerd turn the page here. The way Ash reprises his role like that in the movie The Pusher, I don't know what it prefers. The guy who plays the bad guy in the first one. It's got Mads. What's his name?
Oh yeah, he played.
He's
Hannibal.
the only Mads we know.
Played Hannibal.
Yeah, exactly. He's in the first one, young.
Okay.
But the guy who plays the bad guy, they did a remake years later, and the same guy plays the bad guy in the
really?
same role,
That's
like
funny.
a remake.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
And it is on a list.
yeah, Evil Dead goes down with those like classic early horror films. And the story lives on through. They got Ash versus Evil Dead now, which I haven't seen yet, but always been like super excited to get to it at some point.
Great review.
And there's you said that there might be 6 seasons.
No, I said 3. Let's
No,
not double my guess.
I think you said
here.
6 because I was gonna say that.
6?
You were twice
Am I
as.
out of my mind? I know Netflix got cash. But
I was gonna say you were twice as right.
yeah.
But
I know they're not the green goblin. Or, that's not what it was.
Lantern.
Whatever. I was doing the opposite version.
But they're also
My name's
coming out with
Victoria.
there's Evil Dead 2023 coming out. Evil Dead Rises, which I'm sure is going to be a blockbuster. It's going to be a smash.
Oh god, I'm so tickled to be relevant.
10 years after this one that we're talking about tonight. I wonder
Another
if
5 people.
I wonder if it's going to be the
perish.
scariest. But the only thing I'm worried about is that it looks like it's more of that family story where like the mom becomes possessed and the kids are dealing with her, and like that's been done so many times through the Insidiouses and the all kinds of films that are those possession films. Even what's the one?
You heard it here,
Hereditary.
Oh, you're sick of Hereditary.
Yeah.
Take that, Ari Aster.
I'm a Midsommar.
Yeah. A24, don't put out his next movie.
I'm really excited to see. So, do you think Bruce Campbell should be, can be put in the same category as like Robert Englund?
Can't even be put in the same country. Sorry, what was the question? No, you mean as far as characters? He's like,
no, well, just these guys. The face is almost the Mount Rushmore of '80s horror. You'd have to put him in the same category as Robert Englund, who, like, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right.
I think he does go with the England.
Yeah, but it's like starts with a U.
You can't say his name is in
England.
English, so it would be great disrespect not to pronounce it England.
But
and if it's not, then call him Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
He likes that too.
Yeah.
He's probably not surprised if he hears it.
So do you think that Bruce Campbell and Robert Englund should be in the same? Because the guy that plays Jason.
I'm just gonna say no.
The guy that gets Jason never gets no love.
Is that what happened?
Who else would be on the Mount Rushmore? Probably Dorf there.
It's not that Jason didn't get loved. It's that Jason didn't get
the guy who plays
swimming
Jason.
Supervision.
We're talking about the actors here, dog.
Oh, I don't know who played Jason. Must have been
exactly
at least 5'11".
Kane something. Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, no one knows that. But everyone knows who Robert Englund is.
I knew it was Kane.
These two guys are the only ones that seem to make careers off of themselves. Not just the guys behind the mask kind of thing.
Bubba Hotep? Did you know that Bruce Campbell can play Elvis Presley?
Does he play? He does play Elvis Presley in that,
Yeah.
doesn't he? I thought it was Val Kilmer. So,
It was like a B movie.
yeah, definitely a B movie, maybe a C.
Yeah. High school's a good time to discover B movies.
It's right above Sharknado,
I never saw
which
Sharknado.
I'd say is a D movie.
I watched a couple of minutes of it until the dad from Home Alone died, and then I shut it off.
So my
Sorry, not to end this on a sad note.
Jesus
God
Christ.
damn. Working blue tonight.
A warm-hearted episode like this, and you gotta ruin it like that?
Yeah.
No, we got 12 seconds. I'm leaving it with this last statement, is
Good
that
luck.
I don't think we should be called the Reloaded Ears any longer. Our fans will
Your
now
10
be
seconds are
called
probably gone.
the Tiredeites. Good morning.
And all the cameras are shut off.
Recording.
Nah, bullshit.
Recording.
This is off the record. I don't care if it's recording. You don't play this shit. You're not editing this episode anymore.
The Tiredeites.
Fuck that. Reloaded Ears rebel.